Okay, let's dive into these sources you sent over on zero-click search.
Right.
Our goal today is really to pull out what matters most for you, for your strategy in this digital world that just keeps changing.
Yeah, getting attention online is definitely getting trickier. The ways people find info, how they connect, it's shifting a lot.
And these sources really hammer home a huge shift happening right now, this rise of zero-click search.
Mm.
It's changing the game for online visibility, and we need to figure out what these materials tell you about navigating it.
Well, basically, zero-click search just means, the user gets their answer right there on the search results page, the SERP.
Without clicking through.
Exactly. No click needed to go to a website.
Right. And that's possible because Google keeps adding things like featured snippets, those boxes at the top.
Yeah, those. And knowledge panels. The people also ask drop-downs.
Google business profiles for local stuff, too.
Right. And now, of course, the big one, AI overviews.
They're meant to be helpful, obviously. But a major side effect is, well, keeping users on Google's page, right?
That's the key effect. And
Yeah.
the data in these sources is pretty startling. One study looking at clickstream data found that nearly 60%, 60, of Google searches in the US and the EU and without any click off the results page.
60%. Wow. So, okay, break that down for every, say, 1,000 searches.
Only about 360 clicks in the US and maybe 374 in the EU actually go off Google to the open web.
So Google's own ecosystem is capturing almost 2/3 of searches. That's huge. That seems like the core data point here.
It really is. And what's interesting, as the sources point out, is why this is happening. It's partly Google's own design, wanting to answer queries directly, sometimes maybe favoring their own stuff, but it's also a reaction to, the wider AI landscape, tools like Perplexity giving direct answers to.
And it's not just search, is it? These sources mention other platforms like social media.
Exactly. They often make external links less effective. They want content that keeps people inside their app or site.
So this problem of getting users to leave the platform you found them on, it's kind of everywhere now.
It converges into what one analysis called a perfect problem for anyone relying on sort of traditional web traffic.
Okay, perfect problem. How so?
Well, clicks from search are down. Search volume itself might be flattening out, but
the cost per click in ads is still high.
Still high, yeah. So that really squeezes your return on investment, your ROI, and makes, depending on organic traffic, much more challenging.
And one really sharp point made in these materials is about losing data.
Oh, definitely.
When users just interact with an AI overview or another zero-click feature right there on the SERP, you completely lose sight of their research journey, don't you? That middle part.
That crucial mid-funnel, yeah. Where they're comparing, figuring things out. Without seeing those queries, those interactions, it's much harder to know what content to create or how to adjust your offerings.
Okay, so faced with this, what do the experts in these sources actually suggest you do? The goal isn't just clicks anymore, it seems.
Right. It's shifting towards building visibility and influence right where the users are on the SRP and other platforms.
So strategy one seems to be optimize like crazy for those SRP features themselves.
Exactly. Structure your website content really clearly. Use headings, lists, things Google can easily grab.
Thinking in questions and answers like FAQs.
Perfect for snippets, yeah. And using structured data, schema markup, to explicitly tell Google what your page is about. Helps them understand it.
And another approach mentioned is creating really good content within platforms. Zero-click marketing, they call it.
Yeah, investing in great social posts, detailed Google business profiles, useful email newsletters, stuff that gives value without demanding a click elsewhere. Some platforms actively reward that.
The sources also mention using paid ads, PPC, strategically.
If organic visibility is harder to get, especially for buying intent keywords, sometimes paid search is just necessary to show up at that key moment.
And, crucially, diversify. Don't rely only on Google search.
Absolutely. Build your presence elsewhere, social, email, wherever your audience actually hangs out. Don't put all your eggs in that one Google basket.
Which means how you measure success has to change too, right? These sources argue clicks aren't the whole picture.
Not anymore. You need to look at visibility impressions. How often do you just appear? Track direct traffic to people typing your URL directly. That often goes up if your brand awareness grows from SRP visibility.
And checking assisted conversions in analytics. Seeing how often a search appearance, even without a click, played a part earlier on.
Exactly. Influence becomes more important than just raw traffic volume.
So zero-click isn't some small adjustment. It feels like a Well, a pretty major evolution in how information is found and how platforms operate.
It really is.
It's a strong signal from these sources that sticking to old metrics or strategies is pretty risky. It's a call to adapt, be present where users are getting answers directly, and really rethink what success even means.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with, based on this trend. If this continues, what does it mean for the traditional website? Does its main job shift? Maybe less of a primary destination.
And more of a final verification point or place to convert.
Exactly. While the SERP itself or other platforms become the main place for discovery and research,
Yeah.
something to definitely mull over as you navigate